This time I have a beef with the male community. I give my criticisms to all because we are all about equity and inclusion here, right? So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas, and they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money, okay? My type is broke mechanics and surfer hippie dudes who just want to live in a shack and surf and have babies. All I ask of a man is that you're competent, you're not a pussy. If somebody broke into our house at 3 a.m., you would know how to grab a gun and shoot a motherfucker.
And I know for a fact, all they heard is this.
Broke ass niggas.
Again! CrimeNet says, cancel her immediately. And I'm like, you wanna cancel a woman in a shack that is just making babies and she's cooking?
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community. All the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
Oh, wow.
Coming outside asking somebody where they're from, nigga. You from your mom's house, nigga. We got too many people getting shot and killed.
It's all about content. It's how you say it, unless you're white.
No! So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people and you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of nerds. Those dorks that never got in high school, and they've got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing clown world. They're the ones in media. They're the actors. You wonder why actors are so politically leftist? Oh, right. It's because they're theater kids. They're the theater kids who grew up, and now they're telling me and you what to think. They're telling me and you what to do, and they're making the laws in this country. Well, it's time to stand the up and stop being scared. Like, why are we scared of these people? They were massive losers in high school, and they're massive losers today. It's time to put the nerds back in their place. Stand the up and speak.
A lot of people think this way. They don't say the word because they're afraid of you. They're afraid you're going to get over aggressive, even if they mean it in a good context.
Why?
But you can call them a bunch of things, and you always mean in a bad context that should be acceptable.
Surprise,
And that's how you make people that want to say it more.
I'd like to address yet another goddamn fucking stupid Republican talking point that is destroying our world about climate change. But before I do, I want to address my own caustic attitude and tone. I don't like it. I don't like talking like this. I don't like being like this. In person, I prefer to see the best in people and relate to people through common humanity, even when we disagree. But these devices and these platforms are being used by radical Republicans to destroy and undermine our democracy.
Correction. Your democracy is actually your control, but that's a different story.
An environment, so I am going to spit truth right back at them. In this case, yes, it is true that the climate does naturally change. 12,000 years ago, the end of the last ice age allowed humans to proliferate through the world. But it's also true that humans affect climate, you fucking morons!
Because this guy reminds me of the guys that beat their wives to be like, look what you made me do!
You fucking morons!
1, 2, 3.
Do you want me to take one of y'all?
No! Oh, God. No, you're a man! Oh, God. I'm
And then, ladies and gentlemen, he never offered again.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Sometimes you need to tell such people it's not all about you.
Okay, so I'm gonna add a little pressure now, sir. It's alright, it's perfectly natural.
That was you.
Yeah, I know, but it's still perfectly natural.
Nashville drag performer. Okay, that doesn't sound too good. I gave you guys a warning not to block me, but if I'm going to have to use the megaphone, that's what's going to have to happen. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Would you imagine? This is... Uh-oh, she's getting violent.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Uh-oh, she's getting violent. She's getting violent. This isn't good. This isn't good. That's destruction of property, ma'am. Learn your laws. That's destruction of property.
You're going to jail, bitch.
That's destruction of property. That's not going to end well for you guys. I don't know why I'm talking like normal when I have a megaphone. If you're going to vandalize my property, I'll keep using it. You guys say trust the science, but there really is no science behind what you guys say. So I really just don't know why you guys are continuing. Uh-oh, we have someone destructing more property. That's really not good. You guys continue vandalizing. It's not gonna end well because I can just report it all to the police. It's all on camera. Keep vandalizing, guys. It's not a thing. Oh, you call me a fascist. This is what a fascist. Uh-oh, he's pushing me now. That's another thing of assault.
Whoa, shaving me timbers. This guy's a bad fella.
Keep pushing me, man. Keep pushing me, man. It's not gonna end well, man. You guys are all need to learn something called the Bible. Keep pushing me back, guys. Keep pushing me back. I tried being civil. But when you guys keep acting like this, I can't be civil. Remember, you guys aren't gonna like it when the police are here. There we go, guys. There we go. He's getting arrested. Look at that. Film that. That's called the loving left right there. The tolerant left. They say they support other views. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
I just see people that have an opinion, but they can't rationalize, they can't explain it, and the next action is force. But they do it through empathy. They try to silence you, they try to shame you, they try to force you.
Spokane city leaders are sounding the alarm about hate in the city after that Pride crosswalk in downtown was set on fire Thursday morning.
It started with the car. The guy got arrested. They burned him. I believe that person also got arrested.
Need your help. And so let me apologize for anything the church has ever done that might contribute to the hate we are currently seeing.
Also, sadness.
These are my fellow citizens that live here. I know it was called vandalism, but it was hate.
But people were saying this is happening and those people are not arrested, and people were a little pissed. And they found these kids also, gave them a warning, and one was 19. Yeah, and he almost kind of went to prison.
Yes, this is real. Welcome to blasphemy laws in the United States. Lime scooters will now be remotely shut down if you drive over the Spokane Pride crosswalk. Oh, man.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it went that far. If you go on the bike lane, it just turns off. If you go on the LGBT colors, it just turns off. I'm like, I don't know, man. I understand you want to protect people, but I always think how people can misuse this for ideology.
This can't be.
Dubai is currently going through an apocalypse due to the climate changes they made in the city. Most of the town is now underwater because they created artificial clouds to generate rain months ago, and now they simply can't make it stop. It's insane to think that humans were capable of creating flood problems in a literal desert. But what do you think of this situation?
Stop playing God. It didn't work in movies. It's not going to work in reality.
Are all the transphobic Christians gone? Okay. Jesus was trans. Look like this. To be born male, you have to have an X and a Y chromosome. There's other presenting combinations other than XY, but we're just doing XY right now, okay? Y chromosomes can only come from a male sperm. Mary didn't have sex with a male, which leaves us with Mary only being able to pass on XX chromosomes. Therefore, Jesus was born female, but goes around the entire Bible and everyone calls him and a male.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna, yeah.
So he's trans. The more you know, shooting star.
But now let's talk about your religion. Your whole identity is about your sexual preference. From what I saw, it started in college, went into the pop culture, went into business, went into politics, and now it's everywhere. You're not the minority in the news channel. Now it's infiltrating laws, now it's infiltrating religion. Now atheist friend of mine that are in Holland keeps telling me it's everywhere. They get confused. And they come to me like, I don't believe in your religion, but at least you did it at home and leave me alone.
As if brave me.
And if you don't believe this is getting out of hand, look at this judge.
In your court, what matters more? The rights of individuals or your political ideology? I apply the law to the facts.
I asked a question. Which matters more?
Well, my political ideology doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so I don't believe you. And I think this case demonstrates that you are willing to subjugate the rights of individuals to satisfy your political ideology. This case involves a male defendant who raped a 9-year-old boy. Was he guilty of that?
Yes, the petitioner pled guilty to that.
Okay, so he raped a 9-year-old boy. He also raped a 17-year-old girl. Was he guilty of that?
He pled guilty. The petitioner pled guilty to that crime as well.
So was he guilty?
I hope so, because she pled guilty to it.
He was a he when he did this.
That's correct.
1 year after being released again, he was convicted of having child pornography. Is that correct?
I'm unclear on exactly the time frame that you're at, but the petitioner was convicted of distributing child pornography.
Child pornography that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
that is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely. Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision
I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
But you didn't think so. You didn't think so. And in fact, I'm going to give some quotes from your order because Senator Kennedy is right. This is not a judge's order. This is a political activist. By the way, the beginning of your order says, at birth, people are typically assigned a gender. I got to say that would astonish a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans think you go to the hospital, a baby is born, and congratulations, you have a little boy, a little girl. The assigned a gender, I know you went to Brown, but it sounds like it's in a college faculty lounge with no bearing on reality. The Bureau of Prison argued what I'm saying right now, that if you put this person in a female prison, there will be a risk of assault to the women. And you know what you did? You said you didn't care about the women. Have you dealt, in what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at a risk of reoffending?
Senator, as I do in every case.
Okay, I know you've been told to repeat the line, I follow the law. I asked a question. In what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at risk of reoffending?
Sir, I looked at the facts that were before me in this case. All of the evidence, including the statements of every warden who had supervised this petitioner.
I have to say, if I were the father of one of those women, and you decided that my daughter's cellmate was going to be a 6'2" man who over and over and over again committed violent sexual assault, I would say the entire justice system is absurd, and it is clear on your record your political ideology matters a heck of a lot more than the rights of those women that you endangered. I think you're a radical, and I think you have no business being a judge.
All I know is this. Her defense was...
And the last thing I'll say is that the Transgender Executive Council, which is the body that makes decisions on behalf of transgender transfer requests within the Bureau of Prisons, never said that the petitioner could not be transferred, and never, ever said that she couldn't be transferred because of any risk of violence. What the Transgender Executive Council repeatedly said in denying the request was simply that she needed to maintain her hormone levels.
We're going to follow up. Madam Chair, she has an obligation to explain why she directly contradicted what she wrote in her report. She says in her report, the Bureau of Prisons' claimed penological interest is in protecting female prisoners from
violence and trauma. She just told you the Bureau of Prisons didn't say there was a concern about sexual violence and trauma. Those are directly contradictory, and why are you contradicting what you wrote in your report?
And what are you? And I'm just surprised that this usually comes from ladies, not men. When they scream, I had to listen. And now you're telling me that I'm not supposed to listen to the ladies?
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, durlo, que ta verdetta, welcome.